In this exercise, we're going to get behind the scenes to see how the for each loop is actually implemented in the underlying code that the compiler creates. So the first thing we're going to do is create a list object. We'll just make it a very simple list of numbers, 1 through 10. So there's our 10 numbers in a list. Then to demonstrate the for each loop, we'll loop through it. So for each int num in numbers, console.write num plus a space. Let's run the program. And there's our list. So let's look and see how C# does it internally. First thing, let's put a blank line. The first thing the compiler does is create something called an enumerable object. And an enumerable object is an object that can be enumerated or broken up into pieces and detailed. Is one way to think of that. So the first thing we do is create a enumerable object nums and assign it the list that we just created. Then we have to create an enumerator object, which we're just going to call an enumerator. And the way we do that is by calling the getEnumerator method from our enumerable object. The enumerator is the item that can move from one item to the next in a collection and knows when to stop. At that point, all we have to do is simply write a simple loop. So we'll use a while loop with our enumerator object and a method called moveNext. MoveNext looks to see if there's an item to move to in the list, and it returns true or false. If there's another item to move to, it returns true. So you can think of it as we first go into the loop as a pointer sitting right before the first item. We call moveNext and it looks to see if there's an item there. There is, so it returns true, and we go into the body of the loop. In the body of the loop, we call a property called current, which will return the current object. So moveNext moves to the first item. Now it's current. We go back through the loop. MoveNext looks to see if there's another item. There is. It moves there, and we return the next item. Then when it gets to 10, after we've displayed 10, MoveNext looks to see if there's another item. There's not. It returns false, and we break out of the loop. Let's run the program. Very good. We can use the same code on an array. So what we could do right here is create an array real quick. Let's very quickly put numbers into it. We need to start at 0 right here and run less than 10, and then set each indexed item to I plus 1, like so. Now let's comment out this line. We'll rewrite it like so, and then right here we'll comment out this line, call it onNumers, which is our enumerator for numerals, and run the program. And we still get 1 through 10. So enumeration works on any collection of objects or data. So we can do it on lists of all types and arrays. But anyway, that's how the for each loop works in the background, by creating an enumerator and then having that enumerator object iterate through the collection, going from one item to the next using the moveNext method. So that wraps up this chapter on alternative control flow structures. And now we're ready to move to the next chapter, where we're going to discuss reading and writing to text files.